Starting seeds outdoors in winter may sound crazy, but you cannot deny results. Today I will be showing you just some of the plants that I grew over the winter for this year, 2025, in freezer bags, plastic cups, milk jugs, and totes. Welcome to Finding Joy in the Garden. It is noisy and dreary outside, so welcome to my abode. Let's start off with the cups. First off is a snapdragon. This is the Rembrandt snapdragon. Here are the seeds. Isn't that pretty? So if you are new to winter sowing, I would recommend snapdragons because they do beautifully. See, I have, I don't know, maybe 10 or more seedlings in here. And I also have this one here. This is the Black Prince Snapdragon. I grew this last year. It is beautiful. The leaves range from this green color to a slightly purple color. They get darker as the season gets cooler. And these overwintered in my garden, which is in zone 8A in Georgia. Here, this is the seed pack. And those are the flowers. Very beautiful. So like I said, the snapdragons seem to do really well with winter sowing. I've winter sowed them in cups, in jugs. I just potted up some of these snapdragons because I didn't have the space for them in my garden yet. And if you stick around to the end, I will show you some of those plants that I potted up so you can see what they look like. Next up we have a tomato. This is the mortgage lifter. Here's the seed pack. It's an indeterminate tomato. And I have 5 seedlings in here. One is pretty small, but the rest of them are tall enough. Now, if I wanted to, I could have fertilized these, but I didn't because, and they would have grown way bigger. But these are big enough size for me to put in the ground. Like I said, my garden beds are not ready, so they will be stuck in this cup for a little bit, but they did pretty well. Mortgage lifter. Next up, I have a pepper. This is the Mulatto Islano pepper, and I have 2 seedlings in here. Yeah, it looks like 2 seedlings. That looks like a weed. But 2 seedlings look pretty good. And I promise I didn't just grow tomatoes and peppers. I have quite a few flowers. This here is, it looks like a bee balm. Yeah, this is the Monarda Bergamo. Now I know a lot of people are not very comfortable winter sowing peppers, but they do grow. They may not be as big as what you get from the big box store, but they do grow. And I find that they catch up with the store-bought peppers just fine. So this is the Ají Cristal pepper. Some more tomatoes. This is the Celebrity. Now keep in mind, I did plant a lot of my peppers and tomatoes late. I was late this year starting all my seeds. So they are smaller than what I had last year. I have a video showing my results from last year. So compared to the last year's, my seedlings are smaller, but that's because I planted a lot of them late. So this is a Celebrity tomato, the Ace 55 tomato. Now for a break from the tomatoes, here is the Carnation La France from M.I. Gardner. I've never grown carnations. If you have tips on growing carnations, let me know, especially how they do with rabbits and deer. I may have to put some of these in container just because I don't know, but it's so beautiful and lush. Carnations. Some more tomatoes. This is the Roselle Purple, and I got these seeds from Victory Seeds. It's a dwarf tomato. Rosella Purple. I think I said Roselle Purple, but it is Rosella Purple. And I have 4 healthy looking seedlings in here. This is the Better Boy tomato. It has 4 seedlings in here. Really good looking. The Rutgers tomato. Let's see. Yep. Rutgers tomato. Here are the seeds. These seeds are old. I think they're from 2018. Yep, 2018. And they did just fine. And just to show you the setup, this is how they grew in a plastic cup covered in a freezer bag. And I would just take this off to show you what's inside. So this is the mini greenhouse situation. But this has two different types of peppers planted in here. I don't think this one came up. And this is the second year I've tried to grow this pepper and I haven't had any luck with it, called the Aribibi Gusano. Anyway, but this pepper did come up. This is the Lesia pepper, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 seedlings here, and this one has done nothing. That's unfortunate. I was really hoping to see this pepper. I have a ton of peppers that I grew in these plastic cups in this tote, and maybe I'll show how I did this next year because I was just trialing a new method. But let me show you these peppers, how they did. This here is the Kobachi pepper, and I have 4 seedlings. Well, I'll count 3. This one is still coming up. You can see here. The Sugar Rush peach pepper. I grew this Sugar Rush stripey last year, so I'm intrigued officially, and I wanted to grow the Sugar Rush peach, which is the original pepper. The Sugar Rush stripey is different in that it has stripes on it. Very beautiful pepper. But this is supposed to be very productive and beautiful and tasty. So I have 6 seedlings in here, so I will definitely be growing some of this Sugar Rush peach. Here is the Ojinma pepper. I really hope I said that right. Ojinma from Ghana. Got this from Baker Creek. They look so juicy. I love when peppers have this type of leaf. It's very wide. I love that. The Aleppo pepper. Plenty of seedlings in here. Let me see. Is it just? Yeah, it's just the Aleppo. And here's the seed. Beautiful. Can't wait to grow this. As well as the Violet Sparkle. These are all new peppers to me. Violet Sparkle. Baker Creek. So if you were on the fence about winter sowing, I hope this video helps to show you that you can grow quite a variety of plants by winter sowing. Here is the Purple Tiger pepper, which I got off of Etsy. There it is. So I've grown a Purple Tiger jalapeno pepper, which is a cross between, I think, a Purple Tiger pepper and some kind of jalapeno. I'm not sure which one. Those have really small peppers. But this one is just a Purple Tiger hot pepper. And it's beautiful. It looks like it has stripes. And I love anything that is striped or variegated. So 3 seedlings in here. There are still so many other peppers, but let's move on to something else. This is the salvia, Swan Lake salvia. I got the seeds off of Baker Creek, and I'm not sure if this is the one that is currently blooming in my garden because I planted 2 types of salvias last year and I didn't label them. So we shall see when it flowers. But this one I shall add to the garden, the Swan Lake salvia. And from a different kind of cup. This cup was perfect because it came with its own dome cover. And it had a beverage in it, but we upcycled it, and now it is growing some Gomphrena. This is the Snow White Gomphrena, which I haven't grown before, but I grew a red Gomphrena last year. It was the Strawberry Fields, and it was so beautiful. So I'm trying out different types. This one has about 5 or 6 seedlings in here. I had another container that grew this same Gomphrena, and I have already transplanted it out into containers, so I shall show you that at the end of the video. This is a chamomile. This is the Kelway, oops, wrong way. Kelway Golden Chamomile. I'm having you guys read upside down, am I not? Right, so I grew this last year and it never flowered because the rabbits kept chomping at it. So I dug it up and put it in a container, so maybe I'll see some flowers this year. This is not like the regular chamomile. It is edible if I remember, but not medicinal, but neither here nor there. It does grow big apparently, and it has yellow flowers, so it is perennial as well. This is Kauai Golden Chamomile, and this one that I desperately need to take out of this container and pot it up or transplant it is the German chamomile. So this is the one that you can use to make chamomile tea. I've got some lavender. Lavender needs cold stratification, but when you do winter sowing, you don't need to do that because it does the stratification for you. So you just leave it out in winter, it gets cold, hot, and they grow. So this is my second year growing lavender, and I've only ever winter sowed it. And this one here is the torch blue lavender. Here goes another salvia. This is the Rose Rhapsody salvia. The Mexican sunflower. I only got one seedling in here, but I have another one growing somewhere else. Another bee balm, but this one is the Spearlantern. Spearlantern? I don't know if I'm saying this right. The Spearlantern mix. A coneflower. Looky, I grew some coneflowers. This is the purple coneflower, which I am determined to grow in my garden this year because it looks so beautiful. This here is the apricot status. Here are the seeds from my gardener. One new flower to me. So as always, if you have any tips on how to grow this and how it does in your garden, please leave them in the comment section. Now this here is echinacea, and this is actually one I tried to grow last year. It is called the echinacea double decker. My goodness, would you look at that? It is so pretty. It didn't grow last year. Don't ask me why. So this year I only got one seedling, but I'm gonna baby her. She has got to do something. Now this is perennial to zones 3 to 10. I'm in zone 8, so it should be fine. And it may bloom in the first year. I'm not going to hold out hope, but if it does bloom in the first year, sometimes you get single blooms. But by the second year, you should start to see double blooms. I can't wait. I have to wait 2 years, but I simply cannot wait. Echinacea. I've got some calendula here. I think it's this is the playtime mix. And I have 2 plants in here and 3 in here. So I should be having some calendula this year. Let's move on to the bags. I have this here, which is Swiss chard. And I believe I planted the pink Swiss chard in this little freezer bag. Either that or I did the mixed colors. I'm not quite sure which one I did. But I do see some pink stems in there. This is a smaller freezer bag. I also grew some snapdragons. They are a ton of them in here. I need to transplant these as soon as possible. Here I have different petunias. I have the lace veil, which is a white petunia. And who are you? Super Bisma. I don't remember. I can't read my writing. Is that an A or E? Huh. Well, it's the Super Bisma Triumph mix of some kind. And this one didn't come up, and I suspect I didn't plant anything in there. I just labeled it and didn't put anything in there, but there you go, petunias. And some more purple cone flowers. I planted some dahlias in here. You can grow dahlias from seeds, but you have no guarantee as to what you'll be getting. And I have about 5 seedlings in here. I actually topped one of these. This was really tall. I topped it, and I put the piece that I cut off in some soil, and we'll see if it roots, so I can have more plants. And this one becomes bushier, but here are some dahlias. Next, I have some gomphrena, and I grew, I think, 2 types in here. There's the bloody purple, and also this one here, which is the globosa mixed, which has a purple and white, and I think a red. White, pink, and red is what it says, but we shall see. Gomphrena. These here are some violas, which I should have taken out of this container a while ago, but here we are. Violas, 3 different types. And someone asked if you could grow tomatoes in the bag, and as you can see, yes you can. I prefer the milk jugs or the cups for tomatoes only because there's better insulation, but in a pinch a bag will work, and that's why I grew these, just to show that you can actually grow tomatoes in a bag. I have 3 different types of tomatoes growing in here. There you go. Now this here is some Gaillardia, and I have already started transplanting, so you can see the bag is pretty much half empty. And these are the ones that are left over that I need to put in a different part of the garden, but you can just dig out what you want and leave the rest in the bag. So see here, they're doing just fine. Also grew some basil in these bags, and I have 2 types of basils in here. The green one is this one here, the dwarf Greek basil, and the purple looking one on the other side is this here, the purple ball basil from Baker Creek. Now we do have some milk jugs, and I won't open all of them, but I will show you. So this one I've opened is a Gomphrena. I've already transplanted these in the garden. I'll show you in a second. This is the strawberry fields, which I did grow last year. So these two here are strawberry fields, but on this side I have the Snow White Gomphrena, which is the white, as the name implies, Gomphrena. And I have a stray snapdragon here because in the middle here I had planted snapdragons and I've taken them all out and potted them up. So here, Gomphrena grows really well in milk jugs. And I also grew some lupin in milk jugs, and I have 3 different types in here. I need tips on lupin. If you've grown lupin and you love it, let me know. I know it has a long taproot system and doesn't like to be transplanted when it's bigger. That's about all I know about it. So if you have information about lupins, I have, let's see, the Russell hybrid mix on this side here. A red lupin. I got this one from Etsy. And the Lupinus perennis. I don't know. I think I also got that one from Etsy. I don't think that one did very well because that was planted on this side. So I may not even have any of them. Ooh, that's interesting. But the red lupin did okay, and the hybrid mix. This one I planted super late, but you can see in there, this is the toothache plant. And I got seeds off of M.I. Gardner, and they're just starting to pop up. I can't wait to grow this. I've never grown this before, but I hear it's good for toothaches. It has a bit of a numbing effect, and that intrigued me, so here we are. I have plenty of pepper growing in this smaller milk jug. A ton of celosia in this one. There we go. Cosmos in this one. I think I should move these. They need to be transplanted. I just need to get containers for them because I know the rabbits and the deer enjoy this. So I'll see if I can put in a container so I can have some cosmos. And then I have a ton of peppers. This is actually my favorite container for growing peppers. They seem to do the best in these containers, but focus, there you go. Plenty of pepper seedlings. And here are some really tiny soda bottles that I grew in. This here is Gaillardia. You can see there are 3 seedlings in here. Now, these are harder to grow in only because they don't have a lot of soil and they dry out really quickly. But I find things like lemongrass, this is lemongrass here, there you go, focused. And leeks or onions, these are giant, what do they call them? Dawn giant leeks. They do well enough in these containers, so in a pinch they will work, but are they my favorite container to use? No. It's a bit noisy out here, but bear with me. These are the snapdragons that I mentioned. I have the flames, mango twist, and the rose snapdragons, and I just uppotted them because all of this was in that one container I showed you, the milk jug, and they were very tightly packed, so I just uppotted them into this aluminum or tin foil tin tray. Yeah, upcycled tin tray. And I'm gonna let them grow out a little bit more before I put them out in the garden. Here I have even more seedlings. These are alyssum. I have some greens in here, some kale and others, and then the white coneflower is here, and then different types of thyme, the arugula thyme and the French thyme, different types of thyme in here. Some cucumbers and melons started in toilet paper rolls. I have a video showing how I did this, so if you want to watch that, I'll leave that in the description box. Here are the Gaillardia that I transplanted a few days ago. I think about 5 in here. They're doing really nicely, as well as the Snow White Gomphrena that I put in here about 2 days ago. Click here for a winter sowing playlist to learn how I grew all these crops outside in winter, or click on this video if you would like to learn how to grow in toilet paper rolls. Thank you for joining me in the garden and in my home today. Like the video if you liked the video, subscribe for more videos like this, and until next time, may you always find joy in your garden and your life. Bye, garden friend.